Good morning, Vietnam. What's up, everybody? Benji Bruce here. Today we're going to talk about just moving faster. A lot of people are moving way too slow to get what they want. So let's talk about moving faster. Let's see who's going to hop on real quick, see if this thing loads. Whenever I talk with people in terms of just marketing, just growing their business, I'll talk with them. Then what I always do every single time I talk with somebody and I tell them like, hey, you need to do this, get the website up, get the opt-in, whatever it is. I always look to see how fast do they actually get that thing done. And that's what I always look to see. So I want to pay attention to that today, or I want to talk about that today. A lot of people don't understand that they're completely underestimating what it takes to succeed and how long it takes to get what they want. And I did this forever. I mean, no matter what, when you're trying to accomplish a goal, what naturally happens is your brain thinks along a certain line. Your brain says, okay, I can make this thing happen, or here's the goal. Your brain, you're visualizing this end game, this fantasy inside of your brain. What you're not visualizing are the steps it takes to get there. And you're not visualizing what's about to happen as you go through everything you're about to do. For example, I literally just read a post of one of our members where he's doing outreach. He's sending out a lot of emails and hey, he's about to get 20 grand from these gigs that he's about to do. It just so happens he actually got hacked and someone started sending some emails through his email thing. And they've been saying to his clients like, hey, hurry up and you got to pay us and here's the bank account. So they literally pissed off his clients. Right now, we don't know what's going on in terms of if he lost a gig, has a gig, because like I said, it literally just happened. And so things like that are going to happen as you're trying to grow, things you cannot predict. Who in the world would possibly predict that their email is going to get hacked and they could lose $20,000 worth of gigs? Nobody could possibly predict that. But things like that's going to keep happening. And then because you can't predict things like that, you don't expect or you don't realize how long it's going to take, because that thing happens, your website goes down, your email becomes spam or whatever it is. All this stuff is going to pop up inside of your life. And so you don't realize how long it's going to take. So people tend to underestimate how long it takes and how hard it actually is. So this is why I keep telling people urgency, urgency, urgency. You got to move with a sense of urgency. I remember when I just started, just trying to get entertainment gigs. I'm just trying to get hired just for restaurants. And from there, I completely underestimated what it took to get restaurants. That was hands down the hardest thing ever. Cause I mean, here it is, a freaking young dude, 15 years old, going inside of a bus. Cause I wasn't driving, or no, 15, I was driving. So 14, I was in a bus, going to all these restaurants, and I'm asking the general managers, like, I mean, 14 years old, little kid, it's like, hey, would you like to have a magician? And so all of them are saying no. And I thought I only needed to approach maybe like 5 max, like not even that many, just 5 max, because I'm thinking I'm good. Now, all I gotta do is just show these guys something, and they're gonna realize like I'm good. And so that's not what happened though. It took way longer, and I went through damn near all the restaurants in Colorado Springs. Most of them said no, and then finally I got a few to say yes. But once again, that took forever. Then I started doing the speaking, and I'm trying to get on stages. I'm trying to do outreach. That took way longer than I thought. When I started doing the online stuff, that took a million times longer than I thought. Everything tends to take longer than you realize. So you have to really get going. I can't stress that enough. This is why I tell people, like, if you just look at where you were 3 months ago, 6 months ago, just look at where you were just a few months ago, and you'll realize like, hey, it looks damn near the same as today. That tells you that you are not going fast enough. It tells you like, hey, you got to speed up. And so it's one of the reasons why I tell people like, hey, when you guys, the people who let's say they're not in the program, I say like, just look at where you are today and look at where you're going to be in 3 months from now. I guarantee it's going to be similar if you're not in the program. And it's just one of those things where you need to speed up because time goes by really fast. You don't see it going by. All these things are popping up inside of your life, whether it's simple stuff or not simple, but sucky stuff like website going down, the email getting hacked. Let's say you're doing ads, your Facebook ad account gets shut down. All this stuff is going wrong that there's no possible way you can predict. So when you speed up and things go wrong, you still get it right because you're going fast anyways. And so that's how you have to operate. A lot of times people tend to move too slow because they're just uncertain. They want certainty before they take that step. They want to know with 100% certainty, if I spend money on these ads, will I make money back? Or if I do this cold call, will I actually make money? If I do this cold emailing, will it actually work? That's what people want to know. You have to get it through your head. The answer is always, I don't know. That's always the answer 100% of the time. I don't know if this ad is going to work. I don't know if this cold email is going to work. I don't know if this cold call is going to work. I don't know if door to door is going to work. I'm going to do it anyways, and then I'm going to see. Instead of you sitting down, hoping business is going to come to you, hoping things are going to work out in your life, you cannot operate only with certainty. 99% of the time, you're operating without certainty. 99.9% of the time, it's uncertain. And so you have to keep moving. You can't just say, I'm only going to do things if I know it works. If you operate with that state of mind, you simply will not grow a business. You just can't. Like, you literally can't, because what entrepreneurs literally do is problem solve. There's some problem in front of them. They do not know the answer, and they simply say, here's what I think the solution is, and then they just go from there. Is that the solution? If it's not the solution, let's go solve a freaking another solution. Let's go find another freaking solution. That's literally what entrepreneurs do. And so you have to just move despite being uncertain. The first battle that you're ultimately fighting is doing the right things. That's the first battle. Like, are you even doing the right things? You're trying to market yourself. You're trying to grow, but are you doing the right things? For example, I saw a YouTube comment from someone who's following the speaker training, and they said, they were like, okay, I'm trying to get some more gigs. And what did they say? Like, I'm getting more gigs. I'm trying to get more gigs. I've been producing YouTube videos, at least weekly YouTube videos to get these gigs. And the answer, I don't know exactly what I said to him, but basically he's wrong. I was like, no, that's the wrong thing to do. You're going to absolutely do the wrong thing, and you just won't accomplish what you want. If you want to get on stages, the right thing to do is you literally reach out. You have to do outreach. It's not about producing a video and producing content like the way I am right now. That's not how you get that type of business. The way you get that type of business is you reach out, cold call, cold email. You reach out to them. And so if you start out, if you lose the first battle, as in you're doing the wrong things, nothing you do at that point is going to help you win. You can be the smartest person in the world. You can have all the commitment, all the ambition you want. Like the guy, he can produce daily videos if he wants. I mean, he can produce 10 videos a day if he wants. It will not work in terms of what he's trying to accomplish, because he's just doing the wrong thing. So your first battle really is just doing the right thing. The second battle after that is doing that thing right. That's the second battle. Once you understand, hey, I'm going to do cold calling, cold emailing, now you need to know how to actually work that thing and do it the right way. Otherwise, you end up doing the wrong way. So for example, actually today, once again, I just read an email from one of the members where he said, basically it's like, dear sir or dear madam. And so that's the first thing he wrote in the email. And so I didn't actually read the rest yet. I'll go back and I'll comment on the rest. But the first thing I said, let's see. All right. Yeah. The first thing I said is you don't start out a cold email with, dear sir or dear whatever. You start out with their name, like, hey, dear Wani. So you start out with their name. And from there, you go on from there. But basically, you got to do it the right way if you want things to work. If you're trying to get cold emailing to work, you got to do it the right way. First, you start out, is this the right thing to do? Then you figure out, am I doing this thing right? So that's ultimately what you're doing. So in the beginning, if you don't know what to do, which is very rare, like most of the times you know what to do, you're just not doing it. If you don't know what to do, you Google the question you have. So if you're a realtor, you say, all right, how do I sell more houses? You go to YouTube. How do I sell more houses? Somebody freaking answer the question. Somebody answer the question for you. A million people answer the question. If you're selling online products and you don't know what to do, how do I sell online products? First step, that's all you're doing the first step if you don't know what to do. Usually you know what to do though. And so after that first step, you simply say, all right, is this the right thing I'm going to do? Okay, here's the right thing. Now it's a matter of actually doing that thing. That's the hard part, because procrastination, all that sort of stuff. But at that point, that's one of the reasons why everybody tells you get a mentor. I know people think people are saying this just because they want you to buy stuff, like buy programs and everything, which is true. Yes, we do want you to buy stuff, but that doesn't mean the get a mentor part is false. The get a mentor part, all it really does is it removes all the distractions. So right now you have all these distractions that are popping up. Like the guy from YouTube, he wants to create YouTube videos. He probably wants to write a book, all this stuff. What the mentor does says, no, don't do any of that. This is what you need to do. These 1-2 things. That's what's going to get you the end result. Then you can do all the other stuff later on if you want. That's the mentor. So that's why everyone keeps saying get a mentor. Ultimately, if you don't have a mentor, it does take you a long time. It's just because of what I call the invisibles, things like procrastination. I don't feel like it. Like you wake up, you're just like, I don't really feel like it. Or even throughout the day, you're just like, I know I should do that. I just don't feel like it. So that type of thing, the I know attitude, where when someone says something, yeah, create Facebook ads. You're like, I know, but you haven't created a single freaking Facebook ad. Little things like that, the invisibles that pop up. Any excuses, any reasons you have for why you can't do something, literally any excuse. Doesn't matter if it's real or not. You can literally say, I'm thinking about this, but I don't have any money. It can be 100% true. You can literally have $2 in your bank account. It doesn't matter. That's an excuse. It is why you are where you are. You can say, I don't have any money. Let me figure out how to get it. Let me see if I can go to one of these loan places. I'll figure out how to get it. Let me see if I can get another credit card. Like whatever it is, you figure it out. And so things like that are going to pop up. Self-doubt, moving too slow, not willing to spend money, doing busy work instead of productive work, thinking too much, brain fog. All this stuff is going to slow you down. You have to get all of that out of the way. This is why I tell people you have to operate in a dual reality. You're operating with two things. Yeah, you're operating with two things at the same time. So it's not either or, it's both an and. So it's not, are you patient or impatient? You are patient and impatient. It's not or, it's patient and impatient, not patient or impatient. You are patient with the results, but impatient with the level of activity you engage in. You operate with both things consistently, repeatedly, over and over again. You're always impatient with what you do. You're like, I gotta go. I gotta hurry. I gotta move. And then you're impatient with the level with the results that you get. So you're always acting. You're moving. You're door to door, cold email, cold call, whatever you need to do to get business. You're impatient with that. And then you're patient with the results coming in. So you don't expect $100,000 to appear tomorrow. You don't expect business to come tomorrow just because you sent out a couple of emails today. That's not how it works. So you operate with the sense of urgency inside of you. It's really a real state, or actually it doesn't even need to be a real state, a sense of urgency. I'll talk about that in a second. But you have to operate with this sense of urgency. It's like when I was reading the Jeff Bezos book, there's this quote from the book. But Jeff Bezos, this is when he's about to start Amazon. So he's about to quit his job. Really successful job. I think he was about to be, he was like VP or something, but basically a really, really good job on Wall Street, making a lot of money. And he was thinking about this idea for Amazon, like, maybe I can sell books online. No one's really doing that, And so he's thinking about this idea. And so, here's this quote from the book. It says, Jackie Bezos, his mom, Jackie Bezos suggested to her son that he run his new company at night or on the weekends. No, things are changing fast, Bezos said. Jeff Bezos told her, I need to move quickly. And so that's what he said. His mom said, hey, work at this at night. He's like, no. I gotta move quickly. Like things are going quickly. He had this state of urgency, this impatient level of activity inside of him because he knew the opportunity wasn't going to be there forever. You have to think about this with everything. If you're spending money on ads, like you're trying to build a personal brand, what are you waiting for? You have to hurry up because Facebook ads is going to get expensive as all hell. The same way Google ads got expensive, it's going to happen to Facebook ads. Facebook ads, YouTube ads, Instagram ads, all of it's going to get expensive as hell. So what are you waiting for? Spend money now. Start spending money. Build that personal brand because I guarantee you a year, 2 years from now, instead of it being freaking $1 per conversion, it's going to be minimum $7 per conversion. And so you have to hurry up, get that state of mind going inside of your brain with everything you're doing. What you're doing is you're ultimately you're creating momentum in what you do. This is why I tell people you want to think along the lines of going on a mission rather than setting a goal. A goal is something you write down. A mission is something you move towards. And so think more along the lines of a mission or operation. So I constantly, and I don't really tell people what the names of my operations are. This is really just for me. But when I sit down and I say, here's what I want to do, and I create an operation name for it. So like Operation Noah's Ark. Operation Noah's Ark is where we're going to flood the internet with content. Just Operation Noah's Ark. Just flood the internet with content. One of my first operations was Operation Cheddar Cheese. So Operation Cheddar Cheese, I also called it Operation Moolah, which is basically Operation Get Money. And so I pretty much called it one of those. It was like Operation Get Money. That's what I'm going to do. And so when you operate or when you think along those lines, you're moving forward instead of just jumping up and down. And so you have to operate with a sense of urgency so you're not going in a hamster wheel. You keep moving forward. You have this operation, a very clear operation in terms of what it is you're trying to do. Like Operation Noah's Ark, flood the internet with content. So, and then within that operation, you have all these tasks that you have to accomplish to actually make that thing happen. And so that's why you want to move with this sense of urgency, with this mission, this purpose, like, hey, I got to get this thing done, because that's how you actually get things done. And by the way, guys, if you have any questions, make sure you ask right now and I'll come back to them later. So what you're really doing is you want to create real energy, like not fake energy, not fake momentum. You want to create this real energy. That's why I keep telling people work out. I mean, when you work out, when you do like real cardio, all that oxygen that enters your brain and you actually feel energized, that's real energy that happens. And so your body's like, all right, come on, let's go. It's one of the reasons why my routine, not one of the reasons, it is the reason why my morning routine is I go to the other room, I work out. So I do 30 minutes of boxing Monday through Friday. I go and hop in, take a cold shower every single time, cold shower, no matter how cold it is outside, doesn't matter. I take a cold shower right after the boxing. And the reason is because what it does to the body is it just, you feel energized. You're like, woo, all right, woo. And so you're like ready to go. And that's what happens. And so it creates that impatient attitude, that sense of urgency as in a literal feeling. Like you're, oh my goodness. And so you just want to go, like you just want to hurry up, and you have to keep that urgency, that sense of momentum always up front. Just always, literally, that's the biggest thing I think in terms of that sense of urgency. With everything that you do. And so this is why when I was sending emails, just trying to get hired as an entertainer and speaker, I would send a lot, because when you send a lot of emails, you're going to get a lot of replies back. Common sense. But when you get a lot of replies back, what happens to you? What happens to you, you're like, oh, snaps, I got to hurry up and reply. Oh, my goodness. And so you're trying to go fast. You're trying to reply to everybody because you got all these freaking emails coming in. You're like, oh, my goodness. And so once again, you have that sense of urgency going on, and that sense of urgency allows you to get things done. So you just want to move faster throughout the day. Everything you're doing, just keep going faster. Keep thinking, oh, hurry, hurry, hurry. That's what I keep saying to myself, by the way. I keep saying, hurry, hurry, hurry. And anyone who knows me, they'll know that I'm impatient, right? So anyone who knows me, they know I'm impatient. What you're really doing is you're brainwashing yourself. So even little things, like if I go and I get water, I'm just like, hurry, hurry, hurry. Come on, come on. And that's what I'm doing constantly, even if it doesn't make sense. If there's no reason for me to hurry whatsoever, I still say inside of my head anyways, because I want me to have that sense of urgency no matter what. I just go anything. I mean, I don't know, if I go freaking make some eggs, I'm just like, all right, go, Benji, hurry, come on, get this done, make some eggs, and then let's get back. So that's what I'm constantly doing and saying inside of my brain. I want to brainwash myself. So I'm focused on a sense of urgency, because once again, you don't realize how slow you're moving to get what you want. I just tell people, look at where you were 3 months ago. It looks pretty damn similar to today. Look at where you were 6 months ago, a year ago. A lot of people have these New Year's resolutions. I guarantee you more time has passed than you expected. You thought that you would be further along with your New Year's resolutions, with your goals, than what you actually are right now. The reason you're not is because you do not have a sense of urgency. You're not creating this urgency. You think something is about to happen to you. You think that, hey, I'm just going to sit here and then one day I'm going to have this epiphany, and then one day I'm just going to get up and just start working and I'm going to start doing things. It's just an epiphany that's going to happen. That's not how it works. You work your way towards it. You do little things like the cold shower in the morning, the boxing in the morning. You do little things like that. When you go and you go make some eggs, you're like, hurry. Little things like that you do constantly, all the freaking time. And when you do it enough, you are literally brainwashing yourself to have a sense of urgency. You create urgency in everything. I mean, you're sitting there like, all right, I gotta hurry up and create some ads. Oh, I gotta hurry up and do some door knocking. I gotta hurry up, send some cold email. I gotta hurry up and do some cold emailing. Even if there's no reason as to why, you're just saying it. I just gotta hurry up and do some cold email. There's no reason. You do it anyways. You have to keep saying that to yourself. I constantly do that, even with the time. So like right now, I look and I'm like, oh, it's 9:20. Come on, Benji. Come on, man. Like literally makes zero sense. I mean, right now it definitely doesn't make sense, but let's say after this, let's say it's 10:30. Let's say I'm 10:30. I'm just going to shoot some content, whatever happened at 10:30. I look at the time. I say, oh, damn, it's already 10:30. Come on, man. What you doing? You should be getting a lot more done right now. I keep saying that stuff to myself because I want that sense of urgency. It should never leave. That's why you see all these super successful people who are insanely impatient and they flip out on people. They flip out on people because people are moving too slow. Think about it. If you're running, let's say you're running and you're not allowed to pass the person in front of you. So you're just not allowed to pass them. You're running, you're giving it your all, and you're coming up on this person and they're going slow as hell. You're like, dude, come on, man. You're like trying to push them and stuff. Come on, man. Hurry up. It's like baseball, actually. That's what happens in baseball. So let's say, imagine in baseball, there's people on the bases, or there's just someone on first base. Dude hits a home run, or no, not a home run, because then they can just walk. But he hits it hella far, and then all of a sudden he starts running. Well, the baseball player, he's not allowed to run past the other player. He can't just run around him. The player on first base has to go around first before this player who just hit the ball goes around. So if this player's on first base, this player here just hit the ball, he starts running, they're both running, but this guy's freaking Usain Bolt. This guy's just catching up to him. He's not allowed to pass him. He has to wait. And so that's why you see high performers get pissed off when they have to wait for people. They flip out. It's one of the reasons why Steve Jobs yelled all the time. Bill Gates, all of them yelled all the time, because they're high performers. They're going fast. They're impatient. And so you have to operate with a level of impatience so you can get things done. You have to keep moving. You do not have time to waste. You got to understand the day goes by fast. I mean, think about yesterday. You probably woke up, you did some things, and all of a sudden you realize, like, what did I actually get done today? And think about how many times it's happened to you. You sat down, you're like, what did I actually get done today? You're like, where'd the day go? And so it happens a lot because you're jumping up and down, you're running in a hamster wheel, but you're not going forward. You have to think about the missions and going forward with that sense of urgency. The best way to really think about this is to really think in terms of what would happen if a family member got kidnapped. If your kid, your mom, dad, brother, whoever got kidnapped, if someone in your family got kidnapped and they said, hey, you have a year to accomplish this goal. If you don't, I'm going to kill him. Think about how you'd operate very, very differently at that point. You would have an instant sense of urgency. You would wake up and be like, all right, I gotta go. You would look at the time. It'd be freaking 9:23. All right, man, come on. I gotta hurry up, send some more cold emails. You would constantly be at this whole new level of impatience, just consistently, no matter what. That's how you have to operate if you want to actually get things done. I can't stress this enough. You're moving too slow to get what you want. You have to go faster. And so at the same time, remember how I say you operate with both levels? You operate with impatience and patience. With patience, all you're really doing is you just understand that results take longer than you thought. That's all you're doing with impatience, or patience. You say, okay, I'm doing all these things over here. I'm impatient doing all this activity. And all right, So this is eventually going to come because I'm doing all this. It's inevitable. When I started doing cold emailing, when I decided to do cold calling, cold emailing in the beginning, the first thing that I was trying to decide is this going to work? Like if I were to do this all day, every day, would it work? The answer was yes. And because of that, I did not focus on the end result. I did not say, oh, I called 1 million people today. Why didn't I get a gig? I didn't do that. I simply said, I'm going to call 1 million people today. I'm going to send 1 million emails today. That's all I did because I knew the result was going to take care of itself just because I engaged in a high level of activity, because I was impatient. The end result was inevitable. You only get to quality through quantity in everything you do. If you're trying to produce content for your personal brand, if you're trying to get business, you go door to door, cold email, cold calling, spend money on traffic. Everything, quality comes from the quantity. So you produce a lot of content and you don't know what actually works. You're just producing stuff. You see, oh, people respond to this more. Let me do more of this. You spend time doing door knocking instead of just doing 2 doors. You're like, let me go to freaking 100 doors. Let me wake up at 7 a.m. I'm not going to come back until 7 p.m. And you do the same with cold calling. You're like, all right, man, I'm just going to freaking all day, every day. Same cold email all day, every day. And you just keep doing it all day, every day. And then that's how you actually get good at it. That's how you actually figure out where the quality is because you engaged in so much quantity. You just want to think along the lines of practice. Everything you do is practice. Everything. Cold email, cold calling, Facebook ads, all of it is practice. In the beginning, you haven't practiced anything. You haven't done any of it. And so when you do it, you just keep doing it. Today, tomorrow, the next day, a month later, 2 weeks or 2 months later, a year later, you keep doing it until you master that thing. And so, a lot of people say like, well, but shouldn't I work smart, not hard? And it's like, well, you do both, dummy. Like, what you talking about? Work smart, not hard. You do both. It doesn't make sense. When people tell me that, I'm like, dude, that's stupid. Stop talking about work smart instead of working hard. You literally do both. And that's all you do. There is no smart or hard. You ultimately want to ask yourself, do you want it as bad as you think you do? I don't think most people want it as bad as they think they do. What happens is they see the fantasy. They see what they can do. They see what's possible, but they don't want it bad enough to make it happen because anyone can sit down and visualize anything happening. Anyone can sit down and say, oh, I'm going to be a multimillionaire, a gazillionaire. Anyone can sit down and do that. You're not doing anything to actually do that. And so the way you know if you want it bad enough is if you're willing to go through hell and high water to actually get that thing. That's how you know if you want it bad enough. And so if you're not willing to do the work, end result is inevitable, end result is nothing. So what you want to do is you just want to focus on the work 90% of the time. 90% of the time, you're focusing on the actual work. I remember watching an interview with Elon Musk, and they asked Elon Musk, like, how often are you thinking about the vision, like the vision of people on Mars and all that? And he said, not that often, to be honest, because he's like, we're focusing on the day-to-day activities. That's what he said. He's like, actually, I don't focus on the vision that often anymore. Like we have to focus on the day-to-day activities, like actually building the rockets and all that. And so that's what you're doing. Like I would say, this is what I tell people, let's say in the shower, you focus on your vision. So you can do that every day if you want, you focus on your vision. But when you're actually like, let's say doing work, like right now, doing work, I'm not focusing on the vision. I know what the vision is. I thought about it in the shower, wherever. I thought about it already today, the 10%. Now the rest of the day goes to the actual work. Now I'm focusing strictly on the work. And so that's what you're really doing. All right. So it's just a matter of focusing on that. I can't stress this enough. You don't realize how slow you're going. I don't think anybody realizes how slow they're going. You have to move faster to get what you want. You're just running in place. You just got to move faster to get what you want. I just tell people this, like, you're not really all that serious until you start putting your money where your mouth is. Because people say, yeah, I'm serious about this, I'm serious about that, but they're not willing to spend any money doing anything. I'm serious about creating content. Oh, no, I don't want to buy a new camera. You're not serious about it. Oh, I'm serious about getting on stages, then go buy a CRM. I don't want to spend money on a CRM just yet. Then you're not serious about it. Oh, well, I want to I want to be a professional boxer. Well, go buy some boxing gloves. I don't have the money. Then you're not serious about it. If you're not going to spend money, you are simply not serious about any dream you have. You have to spend money It creates a sense of urgency inside of you. When you spend money, you're like, all right, I don't want this money to go to waste. So you're spending money, whether it's a monthly thing, a monthly subscription like a CRM, you're thinking, I don't want this thing to go to waste. So you're naturally going to move faster. You're going to act faster. That's the other reason in terms of why you should spend money. I'm telling you guys, most people are moving too slow. Go faster. So let's see if there are any questions real quick. And then if not, I'll see you guys tomorrow, 9 a.m. Pacific time. So what's up, everybody? I didn't say what's up to everybody at first. All right. So let's see. Wani said, when you're doing reach outs, when you're doing outreach, do you recommend starting in your city first or just any city? When you're getting business, you just start wherever. It doesn't really matter what city. You just start wherever. In the beginning, you start small. So it's not about location. You just start in terms of just starting small. So let's say I'm a tennis trainer. I train people in tennis. I can't immediately go to Serena Williams and say, hey, Serena Williams, I'm a tennis trainer. I can help you improve your backhand and we'll make you number one every single year. Like there won't ever be a time you'll lose. You can't do that because if for some reason she answers, she's going to be like, well, where's your website? Where's your reviews? How do I know you're this good or whatever? So you're going too big in the beginning. So you're just going to lose it. So in the beginning, you start small with everything. And then you start small, you get some business going. And then after that, now you go big. And so that's what you do. It doesn't really matter location. It's just a matter of being strategic about who's going to actually get you first in terms of just hiring you, who's going to hire you first. And then that'll allow you to get to other business. So that's what you're really doing. All right. So let's see. Search the Google just now. Nice. Cool. Thanks, Richard. All right, let's see. Richard said, I'm spending time and money right now getting my website up with help from a designer, copywriter. What can I be doing in the meantime with the weeks that I'm getting this is getting accomplished? All right. Good question. So, like Richard right now, he spent money on the web designer and the copywriter to get it up. And then, after that, while that's happening, what you need to do, Richard, is you need to build your list of events. So right now, you're not going to be talking to events. You're not going to be sending out emails to these events to get hired. What you're going to do is you're just going to build up a huge list of events. So you're going to do Google searches for award banquet, dinner galas, whatever hashtags and keywords you have. You're going to be doing a Google search for that. Create a spreadsheet inside like Google Docs Google spreadsheet. Create a spreadsheet and just by the time they're done, you're going to have a huge list of events that you can contact. And then bam, you just contact them. And that's all you do. So ultimately what you want to do is what Richard was thinking. So if you hire somebody to do like your web design or whatever, you hire somebody to do something, you should not be sitting around doing nothing. Like that should never happen. You should not be saying, yeah, I want to build my business. Let me go hire this person to do this. All right, now I'm just going to chill. That's not how it works. When you hire somebody, let's say you hire someone to do your marketing. Let's say you hire someone to do your outreach. You let them do the outreach and you do the outreach. That way you're getting more done in the same amount of time. Like you're duplicating you. You can send out 100 emails a day. He can send out 100 emails a day. 100 plus 100 equals, I'm just kidding. So that's what you're doing. Like you send out 100 a day. He sends out 100 a day. You've now doubled it. So you never actually sit down and do nothing in terms of waiting for anything. I made a whole video on this. You wait for nothing and nobody. I made that video a while ago because people would send me an email. They would say things like, what would they say? I'm trying to remember because it was a while ago. They say things like, hey, before I actually start contacting events, I just want to know, like, what do you think of this or something? And I'm thinking to myself, like, why are you waiting for me? Just start contacting events and then I'll reply when I reply, but don't ever wait for anybody. Wait for nothing and nobody. You got your website, your web designer or whatever. He's taking forever. You don't wait for him. Fire him. Get another person. You wait for nothing and nobody. A sense of urgency in everything you do. People need to be calling you impatient. If people are calling you patient, something's wrong with you. People need to be calling you impatient. People need to be saying like, dude, slow down. You're impatient. Come on, man. Like people need to be saying that to you. That's how you know you're operating faster. That's how you know that your state of mind is where it needs to be in terms of the urgency. So keep that in mind in terms of having that sense of urgency. All right. So we are good to go for today. So thanks everybody for showing up. Let's see. It says, so, and also do what Kathy said too. All right. And so, thanks everybody for showing up. I will see you guys tomorrow, 9 a.m. Pacific time. So take care, everybody. Adios. Deuces.